Welcome back, trainers, and wow, did they drop the news on us all of a sudden. So we have this event. A few weeks ago, we did have that text that says Sleeping Snorlax, which everything has come to light now. We see that it is basically a marketing campaign for the new app, which I'm going to assume it's going to be an app called Pokemon Sleep that is it's going to track your sleep, basically, which is not a horrible idea. It's actually pretty neat. They're basically starting to cover every aspect of your life at this point. And it's going to actually have a new Pokemon Go Plus Plus. That's right. Go Plus Plus is what it's going to be called. It's actually going to be placed next to your bed, as well as a new move for Snorlax, Yawn. We're going to be going over all that information as well as a lot of other stuff here. I have your back here. So first off, Pokemon Sleep. We have not that much information regarding this. All we know is coming in 2020. And if I had to take a guess, I'm going to say it's probably going to be an app of some sort. It's not going to be on your Switch. Maybe, possibly, they might convert it over there somehow. They also announced the new Pokemon Go Plus Plus. That's the literal name. Yep. So it's going to actually work just like your Go Plus, but this one is going to track your sleep and when you put it next to your bed, basically. And I'm assuming it's going to interact with the app that you're going to have to download on your smartphone for iOS or Android. And as simple as that. So that is very interesting right there. They also had a little trailer leading up to this, and it was just some kid laying in the bed and then Pikachu laid next to him. It was like so much hype, and then Pokemon Sleep. All right. Moving on, we have Pokemon Home. Now this is very interesting, and this is some big news, not for just us Pokemon Go players, but for everybody in the Pokemon Go community at large. What's going to happen is this is going to be a place, a hub really, where you can transfer Pokemon and do a few different things with them. Everything is not quite clear, but there's something that we need to go over here so we don't get confused. Now, you're going to be able to bring Pokemon from the 3DS Pokebank over to this Pokemon Home. And then as we can see also from Pokemon Go into the home, as well as Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee into the home. And then we have Sword and Shield. You can bring them into the home, but something different for Sword and Shield. As you can see, there's arrows pointing inwards and then coming back, indicating that you're going to be able to bring them from home into Pokemon Sword and Shield. Now, we do not see that for Pokemon Go. It's just an arrow towards the Pokemon Home, as well as the 3DS and Pokebank and Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee. So it's safe to guess. Somebody made the point of this on Twitter as well, that if they were trying to indicate to you that you can transfer and bring them back in whatever specific game, I'm sure the arrows would be there, but we have no other arrows for any of them, so pretty safe bet there. But it gets a little confusing and weird because they go into details on how you're going to be able to interact with other trainers with this Pokemon Home. So if I had to take a few guesses with the very little details that we do have right now, I'm thinking that maybe possibly we're going to be able to transfer them into home. And then it says you can trade. I don't get it because it doesn't have an arrow going back into Pokemon Go. And it shows all the people on smartphones as if they're interacting with Pokemon Go, but they do not show any images. So it's very unclear at this point as to exactly what is going to happen regarding communication with other players and this Pokemon Home app. Maybe you're going to be able to just play with them. If you remember something back on the Wii, there was something called Pokemon Ranch, in which you were able to put Pokemon in there. They had different sprites, and you were able to do not necessarily mini games, I think maybe, but more just look at them, play with them, watch them, run around. And then we have this image as well with other players globally. Very interesting, with friends, as we see two people on smartphones, maybe indicating that it is going to be accessible through your smartphone, possibly as an app, as well as something in the Nintendo Switch, which I would assume kind of like the bank. It would make complete sense, seeing that we're going to be able to transfer them from Sword and Shield, but also a separate part for the smartphones, so you can possibly keep track of everything you do have in there and play with other trainers nearby. And you see a circle of people on their smartphones doing something, but they don't show any images of Pokemon Go. As we've seen in that last image, it did not have the arrows going back into it, indicating that you're not going to be able to bring them back. Who knows what that means? Now, back onto the Pokemon Go Plus Plus. Once again, real name, not fake. I was thinking maybe possibly they just might let us use Ultra and Great Balls for our default catching. You know how we have to only use Pokeballs, but that's not the case. Apparently, it's just going to be exactly like the Pokemon Go Plus, but then with that sleep system built into it as well for that possible app that it's going to be connecting to. Now, other thoughts on this is rewards. You may just get rewards much like we do for walking a specific amount of kilometers for every week, and it's going to be working that way depending upon how much you sleep. The better you sleep, the better rewards you get. That seems a little crazy, but all right, now let's go ahead and go over the information regarding the whole Snorlax event within Pokemon Go. What is going on here, and do you want to catch one of these? Well, it is going to have an exclusive move, Yawn, and it's going to do absolutely nothing for it. Compared to Slacking, Slacking has massive attack. That's why it's actually going to be decent. And when I say decent, I mean okay to some degree, because it does have massive attack for when it does get off its charge move. On the other hand, Snorlax's attack is nowhere near Slacking's, therefore making it absolutely useless. Maybe, possibly. We're going to go over and compare all of its moves to see where the Snores land. I don't know why I say Snore, where the Yawns land compared to its other quick moves here. So this event is going to be lasting from May 28th until June 3rd at 1 p.m. PDT. So make sure you get out there and catch a few. I would assume you're going to want to have a few of these with possibly every single moveset. Just as a trophy, because they're going to be gone, and who knows when they're ever going to bring them back. They may vanish forever until they possibly re-release this app in the future with the Pokemon Go Plus Plus. Otherwise, it's just a random event they just sprung on us for a marketing deal. Features: trainers will have a chance to encounter Snorlax snoozing in the wild. Once caught, Snorlax will be awakened and ready for battle as usual. Remember to take a photo during your encounter, as Snorlax will only be sleeping during its encounter. So basically, take a few AR shots while you encountered it in the wild, and you have us laying down Snorlax basically, and that's it. That's it. It's pretty neat, new little way it's laying down. Although I would have loved to see it laying down once you've caught it during, where you can check the moves and the CP and everything like that. That would have been amazing. Make it your buddy and you have a laying down Snorlax. Or maybe even get creative, Niantic, and have our trainers able to lay on them, Totoro style. That would be super cool, but that is wishful thinking, and I will let that go immediately. So there you go regarding this. Now let's go ahead and talk about yeah, there's a few glitches. If you throw berries at them, it says error. They tend to run. I'm not too sure if the flee rate is supposed to be that high. I don't know why. Maybe just because it's sleeping. Why is it fleeing so much? I don't get it. Shouldn't it be easier to catch if it's sleeping? But something on the plus side for this event to take advantage of is there's a bunch of Snorlax. Even if they have horrible moves, it's still a chance to get a bunch of Snorlax candy. So in that regard, hey, go for it. Get out there, catch a bunch of Snorlax, get those candies so you can actually power up the ones that are good that you probably previously already had. Or you may just find a great IV one in the wild, or the perfect Great League one, although Munchlax is going to be better for the Great League, or whatever situation you're trying to do, and then just simply TM that move. I'm pretty sure you can TM that Snore move. I said it again, Yawn move, and you should be able to go for those other ones. As far as cycling through back into Yawn or trying to get Yawn on the current ones you do have, don't think that's going to happen. Don't waste your TMs. Alrighty, so we're over here on the Game Press. We're going to take a look at Snorlax's moves here and see where Yawn lands. So I did enter in Yawn, so we can do the comparison. And this is going to be page 1. We do see all of the good moves as far as DPS wise. We have Lick and Hyper Beam, Lick and Body Slam, and then so on and so on down the list there. And then if you did not know, yes, Snorlax can learn Outrage now. I've yet to TM mine, so I can test it out in PvP. Should be pretty interesting in some sort of matchup, but I'm not too concerned about it. But it is nice it can have that dragon coverage, I suppose, there. And then if we go over to page 2, we will see the Yawns. All right, so every single Yawn is here. The best one is going to be Yawn and Outrage, Yawn and Body Slam, Yawn Hyper Beam, Heavy Slam, and Earthquake. So that answers the question, is it going to be good? Absolutely not. The DPS for the best Yawn set is going to be 7.5. Then if we go over here, the best move set is going to be Lick and Hyper Beam with 12.63 DPS. Almost double. So you're basically don't power one up. If you have different prerogatives, go ahead and do what you got to do. Maybe just catch a high IV Yawn Snorlax and just use it that way. If you want to drop it in the gym as a joke, then feel free, but you're just pretty much giving your opponent a free pass and taking that gym down. So there you go as to where it's going to be landing. Is it going to be good? Absolutely not. But like I said, this is going to be the best time to take advantage of all these Snorlax spawns and stack up those candies. Okay, so previously we just took a look at PvE. That is going to be going up against gyms and raids. And if you're thinking, okay, well, what about PvP? All right, well, this is going to be the first time I'm going to be looking at this as well. And I already know Yawn is actually going to be on the list somewhere. There it is. So it's not all the way at the end anymore. We do see Yawn and Body Slam in that lower end. So, I mean, Yawn does have a decent amount of energy gain. Body Slam is pretty spammy. I'm by no means saying it's going to be good because you're better off with Lick that's actually going to be doing damage. Low energy, but at least you're doing damage there. So Yawn and Body Slam is going to be sitting at 5.117 DPS, and then the top Lick and Body Slam is going to be sitting at 8.95. So it's going to be a lot better with that Lick, and very obvious there. And that's pretty much it. I suppose we can go over to page 2 here. The worst Yawn set is going to be Yawn and then Heavy Slam. Simple as that. That's going to be for PvP. So there you have it regarding the new moveset on Snorlax. Not good whatsoever. So there you have it, trainers. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up. Looked all over the place to get as much information that I could before I released this video. I was out raiding with some people. When this information started dropping, it started trickling through. The Snorlax event has been announced, and then all of a sudden I saw a Snorlax in the nearby. I was thinking, that's a coincidence. Could it be that quick that the event started? And sure enough, one popped up next to us and everybody started freaking out because it was laying on the ground. So there you go. Sleeping Snorlax in Pokemon Go. Nice little gimmick. Yawn, not that great, but great opportunity to get those candies, as well as all that information and bits of things that they announced regarding the Sleep app and the Pokemon storage. That's pretty neat, and I look forward to more information. All that stuff is going to be coming in 2020. So yeah, we still have, it's not that long away, but still something to take note of and prepare for, as well as the new Go Plus Plus. Ooh, isn't that interesting? Personally, I'm obviously going to purchase it, seeing that it's going to be, involving Pokemon Go. I like to have all the little trinkets and items that revolve around Pokemon Go as it is. The Pokemon Go Plus, or the ball that came with Let's Go, let me tell you this, guys. Did I ever use that? Not once. Not once. It's just too clunky. I mean, there's people out there that I'm sure enjoy using it, but personally for me, I'd rather just use my Go Plus or my Gotcha. Straight up, right? It's simple as that. If you have a Pokemon in the Pokeball Plus that came with Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, it will automatically spin stops. I don't understand why I couldn't just make it automatically catch Pokemon too. At this point, seeing that you paid so much money for it, it's a nice little item. It's a nice souvenir. I still have the little Pokemon walker that came with Soul Silver back in the day. It's sitting right here as I'm recording. I'm looking at it just as memorabilia. I believe if I put batteries in there, I have a Magikarp in there because I just threw in the wacky thing I could think of, because I was like, I'm never going to use this again, but I did use it for a while. Anyways, with that said, trainers, now I'll be catching you all later. Take care and don't fall asleep on those Snorlax.